This is Trash Talk with your host, Garrett the Trash Man.
All right, what is up, everybody? I am Garrett the Trash Man, your host of Trash Talk, and it is Fire Friday. John, are you going to fire people up this Friday?
I'm going to fire them up.
Dude, we just want to bring people a little bit of motivation, because motivation won't get you far, but it can upstart you, it can put a smile on your face, and then who knows what can happen from there, you know?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of things can happen once you're up and going. But first, before we dive into this, Larson Waste, world's best trash company.
Hands down.
So, thank you for sponsoring this podcast. I really appreciate what you guys do to sponsor this podcast, and so we can arrive in people's ears just like we are right now.
Mm-hmm.
So,
big metaphorical hug to Larson Waste.
and please give them 5-star reviews on anything: Yelp, Facebook, Google, all the above. Just do it.
Yes, please.
All right, dude. Let's dive into this. So, John, let's hear what you've got to say to fire people up today.
Okay. So, what I'm going to rant about today is pretty simple. It's not rocket science, but I think sometimes we overcomplicate life, and things are a lot more achievable when we just keep things simple.
Mm-hmm.
And
Keep it simple, stupid.
yeah,
You got to just go around kissing.
sure.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Oh.
Yeah, it's an old sales acronym. KISS.
Actually, I've heard that. I just had forgot it, so
Well,
sorry.
Now I reminded you.
Yeah,
So-
I've heard that now that I think about it. I'm just little slow on the take here. But like so many people, you know, they're always looking at what they want to do with their lives, yada, yada, yada. And I think this goes along with what you tend to plug a lot on this podcast of taking action. But just look to do something good. Like doing good things and finding ways to be inspired and motivated and to make your life better and those around you better gives you a sense of purpose, of fulfillment, and a sense of like, hey, I am doing something good with my life.
Mm-hmm.
And so just, you know, sometimes people get caught up in the mundane or they make things overcomplicated. Keep it simple and just try to do good.
Just do good. Don't try. Just do
Yeah,
good.
Just do good. And keep it simple, because it makes everything so much easier when you're just trying to do good things and you're just out there executing them.
Just pet a dog, kiss a baby, and do good things.
Exactly.
Love it, dude. All right. So, I got a little story time
Ooh.
for this Fire Friday. And what I want to convey in this story is don't be afraid to mix things up and do your best to pull yourself out of situations and look at from different angles. So, everyone has probably heard me talk a little bit about the weather we've been facing, and the challenges that produces for a trash company are significant.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had the intention to update our customers. That's something that's important to me. I want to be a company that can be counted on to do what we say we're going to do. And just like in anything in life, stuff happens.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so much workability, though, in people or companies that will be upfront when things happen. And so, to talk directly, like if your pickup day is a Wednesday and something's happening with the weather that's not going to happen, my intention is to do all I can to communicate that to every customer and tell them, you know, what we look to do to solve it. And I find most people are very reasonable around that. They're like, yeah, there's weather, you got big trucks, it's no big deal, and appreciate you letting me know. Because if I put myself in my customer's shoes, you know, I may not want to leave my trash out just for an indefinite amount.
Mm-hmm.
And even if that's what I was doing, I would rather that be known. Like, we don't know, we're going to keep trying every day, just leave it out. At least I know that.
Mm-hmm.
But generally, I would have a specific day on a certain route that we'd go try out. And what I was discovering is I was getting so frustrated because I was causing so much headache for myself and the company by communicating this. For example, we would figure out we weren't going to be able to run a route. I would post up, hey, everybody, we're not going to be able to run this route because of the weather. Here's what we look to do to correct it. And people were hopping on and just blasting me like, you guys don't do this, you don't do that, you're not even trying, this, you lazy, are you guys all at the lake, what the heck's going on, like, come take care of me, this is bullcrap, yada yada. I'm like, man, I cannot believe how little empathy, like, these people are just not looking at it, like, objectively. They're just mad they're not set up. I can't believe it. And I did like 5 posts like this, and I'm just having to PR this because it's like I don't want that just sitting out there. And I didn't feel like a lot of it was fair because the majority of our customers live on like paved roads and areas we can service.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I've got this small minority making this huge noise that would cause a PR problem, where if someone came across this that lives in a normal area,
Mm-hmm.
they're going to have the sense that this is how we perform as a company, when there's a lot of context of what causes that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I'm getting a little bit wordy here, but basically it was causing a mess me just communicating with my customers.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, I'm just going to stop, because that's what every other company does. We'll get you when we get you, if we get you. Deal with it. And I'm like, man, maybe I'm chasing something I shouldn't chase by doing this communication. I just need to shut up. And then I realized I was only looking at the issue from 2 situations. And so I looked at myself and I said, okay, let's analyze what I'm doing here. And I started looking at people's reactions and started wondering, well, maybe I need to play with this a little bit more. I've been just taking a video of myself speaking to what the issue is, what's actually happening over there psychologically for people. And what I had wondered is if people were sitting there going, this lazy a-hole sitting in his office with a video, get your ass out of your office and come pick up my trash. Now, the reality, and my reality is I'm out working all day and I take 30 seconds to take a video at some point to update my customers, and like that's it. But subconsciously, I'm like, what if all these people just are painting this picture mentally that I'm just hanging out here, not putting forth any effort. Oh, piece of snow fell down. We're not going to go out there. We don't want to deal with that headache.
Yeah.
And so I started to play with things. And I'm like, all right, maybe if I just write it out in a text. I wrote it down in a text, and there was less. It wasn't great, but there was less. And I'm like, ooh, there might be something to this. Like, I'm seeing this from a different angle, and the psyche of the customer reading this, what's going on. And I'm like, okay, what can I do to produce more empathy over there before they read the update? And so I decided to post the route update along with a picture of a stuck truck that's buried in the snow or the mud or whatever, and complete night and day difference. I post a picture with a stuck truck, then give the route update, exact same information, even some of the same routes, and all the response is, thank you for trying, be careful, thank you for the update, hope everyone's safe, you guys stay safe, we can wait, yada yada yada. Just total complete
night and day.
And it was a good lesson to me, because for a couple weeks I was really just stuck in my way of doing it. And I just did it that way because it was the simplest.
Yeah.
It seemed the simplest to me. And so, like I said at the beginning, what I want people to look at and learn from this, as you're either going into the weekend or if you listen to this on Monday, do your best to step out of things, look at them from different angles, and don't be afraid to change things a little bit. Tinker with it, because that's what I did. I just started tinkering with the post, and now I found something that is so much more productive with what my intentions are of doing those posts, and I'm super happy with it. Seems like customers are much more happy with it, and take responsibility for what's occurring over there in other people. And that sounds a little bit funny, but as a leader, leadership to me is producing and creating outcomes, and that outcome might be that person over there having a certain experience. Mm-hmm. So as a leader, at times you may take responsibility of what's occurring for them over there.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's what I saw happen. I took responsibility of what was occurring over there that caused them to do that, and so I started playing and tinkering with that. So in whatever situation, start playing with that, whether it's a relationship with your wife, an issue with an employee, how to interact with your boss, any of that. Do not be afraid to tinker with it and take responsibility of that other person's experience, and you'll see a huge difference.
That's awesome, dude. To kind of just plug what you said there, There's something that I learned a while back, years ago, that has helped me so many times in when I have some sort of issue or problem or circumstance that I'm not okay with in front of me. And it's exactly what you did of trying to take the emotions out of it and just look at it from a third person point of view, completely objective, and just saying, okay, listen, I'm not in this situation anymore. I'll look at it as if like, hey, I'm fixing it for a friend.
Mm-hmm. There's
or
no judgment.
Something. Yeah,
there's
just,
no emotion tied up. It's just, oh, here's the thing.
Just as if you were a fly on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And then it gives so, you're right, it gives so much insight of what you can do to help to help other people come to an understanding.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you have good communication, there's understanding, people aren't upset, you can help them understand that, listen, you really are doing more than anybody else is going to do to get their trash taken care of. But now that they can see it from your point of view, now there's mutual understanding because the communication was correct.
Yeah, and it's not any like trickery. This isn't like, oh, take this crazy this tactic of do this, do that. It's not any of that. It's just like, man, recognize what you want to produce and take responsibility for that.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's incredible what you can accomplish. So.
Oh, dude, I love it.
All right. Well, hope this fired you guys up this Friday, and keep listening. Tell your friends to listen.
Everybody just listen.
Everybody, check us out on YouTube if you want to see the video version. Me and John are here looking fresh. I got my, what color is this? Maroon shirt on. John's got his polo on. You can see our you got a fresh haircut. Check us out on YouTube and share the podcast. Appreciate you guys listening. Freaking grind, hustle out there. Love it. Peace.
Deuces.